Jennifer. I got to go home and change and shower, and I thought I'd feel refreshed. I feel exhausted still. Somehow that shower thing isn't working anymore. Hey, I just want to go through this so you understand how important it is that you're here. We've got like a once in 3 lifetimes opportunity to do this right. And usual, politics as usual, how you do something right is get the cost up high, find the favored vendor and contractors and the firms to be able to do it. And when you're building airports or you're building huge infrastructure projects, you build political empires because there's lots of money. And that's the way, you know, around this country things got done. Let's be real clear about it. It happened right here for decades. Now, when we talk about doing it right, we're not only talking about doing it right for the environment. We're talking about breaking those shackles of an old political machine that was all about making sure that this engineering firm got the work and made this much money, and they raised the money for these candidates, and this happened and everything else. You're in the middle of this. It's very real. It's a very real battle. And what is the critical part of it is people. That's how you defeat it. So let's look a little bit about what we're talking about and why this war is so important. We have an opportunity to rebuild Pittsburgh neighborhoods. And we can use the funds that are part of this project in order for neighborhoods that haven't seen anything for 50 years to have investment made in them. We can take right down the street in Homewood, in areas that we have vast property, and start to build parks where there are no parks. And you know what happens to housing values when they're next to parks? They go up. You know what happens when you have parks? People want to move there. And you start to build infrastructure that's not just a grade pipe that's going to a big company that does work all around the world, but you employ people from neighborhoods to rebuild their neighborhoods, and you make that part of the price tag. We're going to put this part in and take that one big pipe we're going to need out. And then we can start to look at all the industrial sites along the rivers. Big flat areas down on the north side around Chateau, and over in Lawrenceville, down by the Heppenstall plant, and in Hazelwood. Again, places that haven't seen development. And instead of burying big, huge pipes the size of this room underneath those neighborhoods, we can daylight them and make canals where housing and other development starts to be built around it, where people want to say, we want to invest in Chateau. We want to be a part of Manchester, and really an operation that can help to rebuild a community there as well. And we can employ the people in those communities to have an opportunity for a decade on the jobs. That is what you're fighting for. Sure, the pictures look pretty, but there's a whole fundamental shift on how we invest your money and how we do it in a way that is good for the profitability of this region, because infrastructure is needed. Nobody wants to live in a city where raw sewage runs through the rivers, where it's good to the people, because we can use it as an economic development tool to employ people and to have them have a say within their own neighborhoods, and basically rebuild neighborhoods that haven't been redeveloped, and how it's good for the planet. How we do it in a way that makes Pittsburgh an example where cities all around this country and all around the world look and say, why can't we be more like them? You are on the front line. You are the people that are the messengers of this message. And trust me, in hushed tones behind closed doors, there's a whole lot of people coming in from around the country and around the world who'd like to do it another way. And that's why it's important that there are people that are backing it and standing up. So I wanted to stop by today just to say thank you. You've got some big work to do. I think we can do it. I really do. We've got about 1 year. It's about the time frame, because this plan needs to be implemented by 2026, which means we're going to have to start putting shovels in the ground by 2016, which means next year, 2014, we got to put all of this together, make it the plan for the PWSA, the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority, and then make sure that Alcosan is listening and makes it a part of their plan. And then we got to work throughout the communities around Allegheny County and ask them to join us with it. If you gave people the opportunity to choose what they would want, big septic tanks under the neighborhoods of the city of Pittsburgh, or a green proposal that helps to rebuild neighborhoods, favorable to the environment, and daylights that, they'll all choose this. So, important work getting done tonight, folks. Just wanted to come by to say thanks. Thanks, Jennifer.